Across the diverse tapestry of landscapes and cultures that define India, there runs a unifying thread, as integral to the nation's identity as its rich history and heritage. This is the story of the Indian Railways, the world's fourth-largest railway network, not just by size but by the lives it touches, the communities it connects, and the dreams it carries across the length and breadth of India. Conceived in the mid-19th century, the Indian Railways was a marvel of engineering and a symbol of progress. But beneath its iron tracks lies a tale of ambition, exploitation, and the indomitable spirit of a nation. It was the British Raj that laid down the first rails, heralding a new era of connectivity and industrialization. Yet, their motives were far from altruistic.
Britain destroyed India through looting, expropriation, and outright theft, all conducted in a spirit of deep racism and amoral cynicism.
The inception of the Indian Railways was driven by the British colonial ambition to harness India's vast resources. Designed to serve the crown, the railways became the veins through which the wealth of a nation was drained, transporting cotton, coal, and precious metals to ports for shipment to the factories of England. This grand enterprise, touted as a feat of civilization, was, in essence, the largest orchestrated exploitation of a colony's resources in history.
Way back in 1843, when trains had just been invented and were coming online in England, at that time, Lord Hardinge, who was the Governor General of India for the East India Company, wrote a memo, remember 1843, saying that the railways would be, and I quote, beneficial for the commerce, government, and military control of the country. 10 years later, 1853, his successor, Lord Dalhousie, said that the important role that India could play as a market for British goods and as a source for agricultural raw materials for Britain would be facilitated by the railways. So from the very top and from the very start, it was clear that the British wanted to build the railways for their purposes.
As the tracks spread across the Indian landscape, they brought with them a paradoxical legacy. On one hand, they connected distant corners of the country like never before, fostering movements and exchanges that were previously unimaginable. On the other, they facilitated a systematic economic extraction that crippled local industries, leaving a trail of socio-economic disparity in its wake. This documentary embarks on a journey through time, exploring the rich history, monumental challenges, and the unparalleled triumphs of the Indian Railways. From its origins as an instrument of colonial exploitation to its role today as the lifeline of the nation, we will uncover how this vast network of steel, steam, and signals became much more than a means of transportation. It became the heartbeat of India. As the Indian Railways stitched the vast and varied tapestry of the subcontinent together, it also unraveled layers of a meticulously planned economic heist. Under the guise of modernization and development, the British Raj orchestrated what would become known as one of the largest scams of the century, turning the railways into conduits of colossal economic exploitation.
The Indian Railways were built with massive incentives offered by Britain to British investors, guaranteed out of Indian taxes paid by Indians, with the result that you actually had 1 mile of Indian railway costing twice what it cost to build the same mile in Canada or Australia, because there was so much money being paid in extravagant returns. Britain made all the profits, controlled the technology, supplied all the equipment, and absolutely all these benefits came as private enterprise, British private enterprise, at public risk, Indian public risk.
In the years following 1853, the British systematically expanded the railway network, not as a service to the Indian people, but as an engine of extraction. By the turn of the century, over 40,000 miles of track had been laid, not to connect communities, but to transport India's wealth directly into the coffers of the British Empire. It was a grand scheme of economic plunder, meticulously documented in ledgers and reports that barely concealed the scale of the loot. For every mile of track laid, there was a trail of deprivation and disenfranchisement. Indian taxpayers bore the costs of construction, while British investors reaped guaranteed returns of up to 5%, a lucrative venture funded by the very people it disenfranchised. Discrimination and corruption were the twin tracks on which the British Raj's exploitation ran. Indian workers toiled in harrowing conditions to build and maintain the railways, yet they were paid a pittance compared to their British counterparts. The railways, meant to symbolize progress, instead deepened the chasms of inequality. The iron tracks that crisscrossed India, hailed as marvels of engineering, were in fact the chains of economic bondage. As raw materials like cotton, jute, and coal were exported at throwaway prices, India's own industries languished. The railways, which should have been the arteries of prosperity, instead bled the country dry. The legacy of the Indian railways, intertwined with the narrative of colonial exploitation, serves as a stark reminder of a period when the dreams of a nation were derailed by the greed of an empire. Yet, it is also a testament to the resilience of the Indian spirit, a prelude to the remarkable journey of reclaiming and transforming this vast network into the lifeline of a sovereign India. August 15, 1947, marks a watershed moment in India's history, the dawn of independence. With it came the monumental task of restructuring the Indian railways, a symbol of colonial subjugation, into a conduit of unity and progress for the newly sovereign nation. As the nation grappled with the immediate challenges of partition, the railways stood as lifelines, bearing the weight of displacement, sorrow, and hope. But the journey ahead was fraught with challenges. In the wake of independence, Indian engineers and leaders faced the daunting task of transforming the railways. Their vision was clear: to repurpose it as an engine of national integration and development. However, the journey was not without its hurdles. Under Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, India embraced socialist policies, aiming for a self-reliant economy. These policies, while visionary, inadvertently stifled the growth and modernization of the railways. Over-centralization, bureaucratic hurdles, and insufficient investment in technology led to decades of stagnation. The grand vision of connecting a diverse nation was marred by slow progress and inefficiencies. Despite the setbacks, the Indian railways trudged forward. The decades following independence saw gradual improvements, electrification, the introduction of diesel locomotives, and the slow expansion of the network. Yet, the pace was sluggish, with the vast potential of the railways remaining untapped. The year 2014 marked a pivotal moment for the Indian railways. With a renewed focus on infrastructure development, the pace of modernization accelerated. Ambitious projects, significant investments in technology, and a push towards digitalization transformed the face of Indian railways.
भारतीय रेलवे आज एक बहुत बड़े ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के दौर से गुजर रही है। इस दशक के अंत तक भारतीय रेलवे का पूरी तरह कायाकल्प होने जा रहा है।
The introduction of high-speed trains, efforts towards sustainability, and the digital revolution within the railway system have ushered in a new era. These advancements not only enhanced the passenger experience but also significantly improved efficiency and connectivity across the nation.
So Prime Minister then decided, no, let's do a quantum jump. Indian engineers are designing for the world, they are manufacturing for the world. Why can't we design something for ourselves? He gave a clear mandate that the train has to be designed in India, has to be made in India, it has to be world class.
From a tool of colonial exploitation to a symbol of unity and progress, the Indian Railways' journey post-independence is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of India. As the tracks continue to expand, they carry not just passengers, but the aspirations of a nation poised for a future as dynamic and diverse as its landscapes. The Indian Railways, more than an engineering marvel, is a vibrant tapestry of India's cultural and social landscape. It's a space where stories unfold, destinies intertwined, and the sheer diversity of India is on full display. Every day, millions of passengers embark on journeys, weaving the fabric of a shared experience that transcends boundaries. These carriages witness stories of unity in diversity, of friendships forged in the unlikeliest of places, and of shared dreams and aspirations. The railways have become a metaphor for India's unity, bringing together people from different cultures, languages, and religions in a shared journey towards a common destination. Yet, the journey is not without its challenges. Maintaining the world's fourth-largest railway network, ensuring safety, and meeting the environmental sustainability goals are daunting tasks. The Indian Railways navigates through these challenges, striving to improve, modernize, and evolve.
Each and every consumer who comes into Vande Bharat must spend a few seconds to try and relish the beauty of all that effort that has gone into making Vande Bharat the truly Indian story.
This is the first time we have to design transformers at the 2800 kVA transformers for the underslung mounting, and no Indian company was willing to manufacture this in a short time. Everything else is made, the train is ready to go, but by August the transformers are not in the site at all. So that was almost a low point that what will happen.
Changing the technology, developing vendors, getting these equipment fitted in time, marrying various subsystems to make them perform in sync, that was a very big challenge.
Even a project of this type, they ask for minimum 3 years from the concept, from the design, development, manufacture and commissioning, flat within 18 months. It is a record actually.
In its quest for excellence, the Indian Railways has embarked on ambitious projects, modernizing stations, introducing high-speed rail corridors, and adopting green technologies to reduce its carbon footprint. Each step forward marks a triumph in its journey towards a safer, faster, and more sustainable future. From its origins as a tool of colonial exploitation to its status today as the lifeline of the nation, the Indian Railways has traversed a path of transformation and resilience. It is more than just a railway network, it is a symbol of India's progress, unity, and undying hope for the future. The Indian Railways continues to be the heartbeat of a nation, carrying not just millions of passengers daily but the dreams and aspirations of 1 billion hearts. It stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of India, a nation that has turned the tides of history to chart its own course towards a future filled with promise and potential. As we look towards the horizon, the tracks of the Indian Railways stretch out, endless and inviting, a reminder of the journeys yet to come and the stories yet to be told. The railways remain, as ever, the lifeline of the nation, a thread that binds the diverse tapestry of India into a singular, unified narrative of strength, resilience, and hope.